Hey, 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 y'all, hey. You know you're there. Let me know you can hear me, you can see me, all the things. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna check and make sure I'm where I think I am. Yeah, there I go. So listen, I I'm just gonna be honest with you and tell you, I've been around for a long time as far as my age. But I'm fine. I'm fine with it. And what I know to be true is that even today, y'all, I'm still learning who I am. I'm still learning who I am. And I got to this point today. All this stuff popping up on the screen want me to do stuff. I can't multitask. Um, I got to this point today because I had a couple of meetings with some very powerful women, and we were having some real conversations out here in these streets about just, being a woman, growing up, different backgrounds, different challenges, different obstacles, different purposes, and all of that, and different goals. And we were just talking about that journey. And from the writer side of my life, all I could see and hear was the hero's journey. And if you're not familiar with that, it's essentially that whenever a hero is born in a story, they're usually born out of adversity. They have some challenges and trials that they go through that teach them what their strengths are and what their skills are and all of that. And so all I could hear was the hero's journey. And one of the conversations that I had, it just in my head, I just kept hearing about I was the first person to abuse me. I was the first person to take advantage of me. I was the first person to ignore my needs, wants, thoughts. And in doing that, I set a standard. And I was just thinking through that pattern. Hey, Keith, I see you. I was doing that, and it was a pattern throughout my life that somebody else's word was more valuable, more accurate, more fueling than my own. And I was like, damn. So it's been a very deep morning for me. But with that, I was like, that's not just one part of my life. I can't say that's just relationships. I can't say that. It even took me back to, like, and I know I'm not the only one. It took me back to being in school, like not big people school, like PhD school, but like elementary school, and the teacher asked a question, and inside my head I'm like, I know the answer, and I say the answer, but I don't raise my hand. I just kind of look around, and then somebody else say it, and I'm like, dang, I knew that. Why? What was it that got me to the point where I did not trust my own thoughts, my own intellect, my own brilliance? Because whatever that was, I've carried it, I've woven it through so many areas of my life. And so, like I said, I had a very deep, very deep morning. But here's what I came on to let you guys know is that I see you. I know you. I work with you. I work with you all the time. You've got these ideas that you think you need to change because so and so said it has to be done this way and that way, and you got to do it like, I have a ton of knowledge. I do, and I'm learning to embrace that. I have a ton of knowledge, resources, experience, insight. Like, I got skills. But even still, If you come to me and you say, this is my dream, this is my vision, my job, my role in your life is not to cram that into some experience that I've had. That's faulty. That's faulty mentoring. That's faulty leadership, and that's tainting your whole process. I'm making you take 16 steps when your vision only took 2. Nah. No. We're not doing that. It's time out for that. And y'all, this is not some like, oh, you don't need a coach for this, that, and the other. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is we've got to quickly shift and stay. We got to shift and stick to a point where we trust and believe us. While I have my moment of, yeah, I'm smart, I'm brilliant, this and that, it takes nothing away from your brilliance. It takes nothing away from your certainty of your vision. And when you're encountering people, you got to get into a space of identifying that. Because then you got to shift into being able to boldly say, no, you ain't the one. I'm not rolling with you right now. Not that you're mad at them, none of that. But you are sold out on you. You are sold out for you. It is time to get to a place where we're listening to us. Today I learned. I feel like I'm in school. Today I learned, like, I thought it a little bit, but I truly learned it. It's a part of my knowing, my knowledge base from now on, that when I have pain in my body, it's because I'm not listening to that voice inside me that says rest, or don't eat that. Don't eat that, Tessa. Like, it's because I'm not listening to that voice that says, okay, it's time out for screen time. You're straining your eyes. It's because I'm not listening to that voice that says, hey, child, step outside, get a little sun. It's because I'm not listening to that voice that says, drink some water. That would be great. It's because I'm not listening to that voice that says, you ain't got to work like that. You already have proven that you want your goals because you made it a goal. You don't have to kill yourself to prove that you really want it. Y'all, can I tell you, that right there alone, one of the phenomenal women that I talked to today, she asked the question, I almost threw my pen at the screen. She said, what if by resting, everything you ever desired came to you? I was like, what? Now, she didn't say that's how it worked, but she said, what if? As in, what if I allowed it to be that way? What if I allowed resting to be the thing that triggers success in my life? And so, since I got my edges snatched, I thought it was only fair that I come in and I ask y'all, Jamie, I see you. You say, I remember having a mentor tell me not to start a business. Wow. And you know what, Jamie? It's not that they meant that in a hurtful way, but they were giving you advice. That's good. They were giving you advice from their place of fear, from their place of not having the vision. Listen, there's so much power in you having the vision. Anybody, if you've ever seen the Men in Black, the third one, where the little guy, he had this ability to see just across dimensions, outcomes across dimension. My husband swears that's based on me, and I think that's beautiful. But here's the thing. There is power in having the whole vision. There's power in that. So when you share the vision from the place of your right now with someone, all they can see is the right now, because they don't have a vision. They didn't get it. They didn't get it. And so again, you have to be mindful of the fact that you got the vision. You the boss of the vision. You're assigned to that vision. Parents, when you have small kids and they trying to talk, y'all right here. Y'all, you get it. Other people be like, what? What'd your baby say? Because I don't know. But your assignment is to that one right there. I'll be an alien. That's fine, Keith. I'll be an alien. But your assignment is to that vision, that baby. And so when that baby is the gibberish, and and you be like, oh, okay, you want your cup? That's your gift. That's the gift of being assigned to that vision. I promise you, that's making me laugh because it's just taking me back. When my kids get all excited and they be talking with their hands, and I be like, okay, I got it. And my dad be like, huh? What that one say? I don't know what that means. It's the same thing. You're assigned to hold that vision. And so with that, there's a certain level of, you got to step up and trust that wasn't a mistake. That wasn't an accident. It wasn't a fluke, because 9 times out of 10, this ain't even the first vision. Come on. This ain't even the first vision of something that you were supposed to lead, develop, design, create, spearhead. This ain't the first time. And so I'm calling you higher today. You've seen the warning signs of you not trusting you. Your health is not where you want it to be. Your relaxation game is not where you want it to be. The other part of that, holding yourself hostage and rewarding yourself with taking care of yourself. That's crazy. Hey, Roz. How do you... That's like saying, I'm not going to give you food or water until you complete this task. Like, that's abuse. And we do that. It's a mind game. We call it motivation. That's not motivation, that's abuse. Keith, you said, how do you quiet the inner voice who wants to block those thoughts? So here's the thing. You take a step. Sound like fear or fuel? I say fuel. I'm calling intuition fuel. Okay? So that inner voice that's guiding you to take a step that can catch fire, whatever that is, whether you call that intuition, for me it's the God in me, right? Whatever you call it, you got to ask yourself, wait a minute, does that sound like I'm afraid? Like, we all, oh my goodness, we all have this. We all deal with this, where it's like, oh, if I go out here and I shine, somebody gonna be mad. Okay. But if you go out here and you shine, somebody's life gonna be changed, business gonna be changed, relationship with their kids gonna be changed, their health is gonna be changed for the better. Like, that's where you lean into that fuel that moves you forward, as opposed to shrinking in fear. Fear has good intentions, but poor outcomes. That's a word. Fear has good intentions, but poor outcomes. I navigate this often, and people think I don't. People be like, oh, you out here, you doing the thing. Mortified. But I did it anyway, because I'm leaning into the fuel. I'm focusing on the fuel part, not the fear part. Oh, I gotta say it again. Fear has good intentions and poor outcomes. I'm gonna even take it a step further and say that leaning into fear is another form of abuse, because it puts you in that perpetual state of fear. Think about how fear makes you feel. My to have an anxiety attack for 24 hours a day. Nobody. I'm not. Because I'm like, oh, I just can't. It was a lot. So, y'all know I like to try to keep it short. I don't usually do that well, but that's what I wanted to come and talk to you about today was we see the warning signs of not taking care of ourselves, not trusting ourselves, not trusting yourself and believing if you ever been to a doctor and told them my such and such hurt or this is going on with me and they say that don't make sense, you're like okay, but I just told you what's happening. You can't do that to you. After today, after watching this, and I hope you're tagging or sharing with, because we're not the only ones, those of us who are here right here live, we're not the only ones. But after today, you are not going to ignore the warning signs, those red flags. Everybody like red flags these days. But you're not going to ignore that anymore. You're going to take a look at it, face it head on, because you're a leader. You've changed so many things in your life and in your family, in your legacy, in your bloodline already. Think about all the stuff that stopped with you. Stop this with you. Can you imagine breaking this cycle of self-abuse so your kids don't have to deal with it? So your grandkids, your great grandkids don't have to deal with that. They are the most certain people in their assignment and their purpose and their mission. They believe them. They love them. It starts with you. So I want you to understand you weren't assigned this vision for your life, for your business, for your body, for your mind, for your everyday by mistake. Nah, that's not how it works. You were assigned, you were charged with it, you were assigned with it. You get to do this because you can. You are the one. And when you lean into that, when we lean into that, our voice my first priority is to figure out what I want to do, where I feel comfortable, all of the things that you can control before you go out and get someone else's opinion and then try to shove it down your throat. All that is you trying to fit this big vision you've been given into somebody's little box because you just don't trust you. And those days are over. We're having a whole conversation about it and there's no take backsies. No take backsies. So if you're coming back on the replay, I'm about to wrap this up. But I charge you to really, really lean into taking care of yourself by first trusting you. Take care of your vision by first trusting you. Take care of your business by first trusting you. Take care of your body by first trusting you. I'm telling you, these meetings I had this morning just really shift things for me. Really blew my mind. Because I got called out. I got called out. It was in love. We were having conversations. But I got called out. And I'm like, I need to do better. I need to set a better standard for how I treat my voice, for how I treat my mind, my brilliance, my insight, my intuition, all of those things. And I hope this makes sense. I hope that this shifts you and helps you to understand how much power you have over creating the peace that you want, the impact that you want, You are not on autopilot. You get to drive some too, boo. So yeah, that's really what I want to share with you guys. We're having more conversations like this inside of the Pampered and Paid Summit that's coming up. If you have not registered, gotten your free ticket, grab your ticket, because we're pulling back the layers. We're not just going through the motions of, you know, that surface level stuff that we see around business and being. We're having some real conversations because the goal is to not just shift you for a day or an hour or 3 days, but the goal is to shift you into your next level and make it stick. That's the goal. Okay. All right, y'all. So make sure you share, tag those biz besties, those life besties that you have that could benefit from this. And I will see y'all on the next live.